My name is Mike Trong, and I'm the Executive Director of the Office of Innovative Teaching and Technology at Azusa Pacific University. In this video, I will talk about academic faith integration, what it entails, and provide some examples. So let's get started. Here's a definition of what academic faith integration entails from my institution. So I'll read it really quickly and then I'll break it down. Faith integration is informed reflection on and discovery of the relations between the Christian faith within the academic disciplines, professional studies, the arts, and lived practice, resulting in the articulation of Christian perspectives on truth and life in order to advance the work of God in the world. The first part of this definition focuses on some sort of reflection or discovery of the connection. The second part then connects the Christian faith with the disciplines, whether it's a academic discipline or it's a professional program or in different areas of knowledge. And then the third part here focuses on the articulation of the Christian perspective of these different disciplines. So let's get a little bit more practical in terms of strategies and examples. So here's typically how academic faith integration works. So you have a content knowledge or within a discipline, and you have the Christian faith. And it's the combination of these two that result in an academically integrated perspective, academically faith integrated perspective. There are three strategies for academic faith integration. Let's review them. The first is what they call the compatibility strategy. And this strategy basically emphasizes the harmony or the compatibility between the discipline and the Christian faith. So applications include using biblical examples to illustrate a disciplinary concept, such as using the Moses in the Bible as a leadership model, or showing Christianity's relevance to disciplinary knowledge. Things like human nature, beauty, history, all these themes are relevant in the Christian narrative, and it is also available in the disciplinary knowledge. A second strategy to academic faith integration is this idea of transformational strategy, which is to remake or to transform the discipline to align with the Christian worldview. So applications include advocating the existence of truth, reason, and meaning, such as how we explain the origin of the universe and how our creation narrative works is transforming the way the discipline talks about the origin of the world, or upholding some sort of biblical authority in the discipline. When we talk about this, for example, in social sciences, the idea of social ills is oftentimes explained in different ways, but from a Christian perspective, at the source of all social ills is sin. The third strategy is what we call reconstructionist strategy. And this strategy essentially replaces faulty foundations of the discipline with Christian worldview. Applications include employing Christian worldview as the organizing principle to interpret the discipline. So there's a lot of theories around relativism and how there are no objective truths. And so what reconstructionist strategy would do is to replace relativism with absolute truth. Another way to do this is to replace disciplinary assumptions. So instead of talking about random chance and happenstance in this world, we talk about the events happening in terms of God's sovereignty and God's rule over this world. Here are some reflective questions that can help students to integrate their understanding of the discipline and their faith. So this first level of questions focuses on the what, or the investigation. So questions like, what are the foundational assumptions of the issues, course, or discipline? Or how do I know that this knowledge claim is true? Is there an agenda or an ideology behind this conclusion? Or what is the worldview behind or implied by the claim? A second level of reflective question focuses on the so what, which is the interpretation of these claims in the discipline. So how does the claim fit in with the Christian faith? How could my worldview act as a filter to evaluate the subject? What ethical questions does the knowledge, expertise in the subject raise? And what does this subject tell us about God? And then the third level of reflective question is this idea of focusing on the now what, which is the application. So where is the hope here? How might we reclaim this area for the glory of God? How could the restoration of this issue be a signpost for the kingdom of God? And how could learning in this subject affect my faith development? Here are some reflective questions from the different disciplines and how students might be able to uh, work through the integration between the discipline and their Christian faith. So in English, for example, a question like, what are the similarities and differences in interpreting biblical texts and interpreting other literature texts? Uh, Going down to history, for example, how do alternative views of the direction of history, whether it's linear, cyclical, teleological, how does that fit or doesn't fit with the Christian narrative? In economics, a question like, what is the relationship between the quest for profitability and the Christian call for compassion and justice? And then finally at the bottom, in the discipline of education, what is the relationship between subject-centered and student-centered teaching pedagogies in light of a Christian perspective on personhood? We have included additional resources around about academic faith integration in this unit. So we encourage you to go there and explore these resources. I like to highlight two particular resources. One is this article by William Hasker, and it provides an overview of what academic faith integration looks like and what are the key ways to approach this topic. And then there's also the website from my institution on faith integration. And within that website, you will find lots of links and resources to help you to better understand faith integrated learning.